Good evening. This is Grateful Ed. Hope you're having a great day. I've got a challenging day, but these things are like that. We don't let that stop us. But to everybody, I feel your love and I thank you, especially the ones that support me. And even though the numbers don't reflect it, I don't worry about that because it's a feeling. It's a feeling of, doing the right thing together. So thank you. I want to start with critical race theory. Critical race theory is Marxist communist ideology being taught through our K through 12, through the universities, society, corporations. They're trying to implement that in the military, and it's not going to work. There's simply too many people who have stood up, done the work, coordinated, and are doing their best to expose and to block, get rid of, and take out the people by legal means who are doing the wrong. Superintendent Cooper, I'm calling you out. You are the plausible deniability for the Mason School Board. I highly suggest you contact Project Veritas, America's Principles Project, momsforliberty.org, stopcriticalracetheory.com, the Heritage Foundation, and tell your story before it's too late. I wanted to talk about God's blessings, our blessings together, okay? When I say these things, I say it from a position of understanding a lot better about why I'm different in the community, okay? So, having said that, the place I'm coming from my ancestors, to stand up for them, to break these generational curses, there's no bigger honor for me. And for everyone who stood up and does something like that, that's great. It really is. Because that's what it takes. At a time like this, it takes our voice and togetherness in order to stop this once and for all. So when I say that, my blessings will be used, okay, in order to give the rightful people the land back and to definitely help people, because it's going to be such a different world, Once everybody has their own opportunity and God's blessing, for which are ours, our rights, but we have to stand up and take them, right? Together. We have to stand up and take them back. So for me, there's no greater time, really. Is it difficult? Yes, absolutely. But, this is it, right? This is why we're here. For me, that's my feeling. So my blessings that I've been cheated out of or have been used for profit, once those things come back with compound interest, my intention really, truly, is to make that, turn that into positive outcomes for everyday people, no matter what race or color, okay? So, the other thing I wanted to say, is about the deep state trying to divide us on religion. They're trying to divide us on every category, if you think about it. Growing up in the 60s, right, where we have race relations, it's hard, but we made a lot of progress. There's no denying that. The real issue is why we have been driven apart. Why, It's not natural. It's just not the natural order of things. That's why it can't stand. It's not God's will, see. So it's really the togetherness with love, right? And for the right purpose, for the right reason, to stand up for our Constitution, for God and country, right? Together is how we make that happen. There's no doubt in my mind. I grew up different. I do things different. I've always done things different. And I don't plan to change that anytime soon. I saw signs on the road that said love, joy, and happiness yesterday, right? And that's really what it is all about. It really, really is, you know. So, please understand when I say that when you're growing up, you know, you may pick up habits, you may do things that later on in life you're not proud of. And if you got the opportunity to try to turn that into a positive, that's great, you know. But for the people that haven't checked, you know, and are still in the obsessive mode or still doing things that have gone on to different levels that we see now, that goes into low-level crime, medium level, now cyber, anything in order to gain an advantage. And there's no need for that with God's blessing. Together is how we move forward to make that happen. As always, these are my opinions. Please do your own research, you know, and come up with your own opinion. It begs a question for me to take a look at things today, and of course, things back all the way, even before I moved to Mason, okay? Because there were things going on, okay? And we know that now about switching babies around and arranged marriages, these type things, okay? It's no secret anymore. But, you know, I couldn't understand why the obsession? I still don't understand why the obsession, you know? Those are one of the things that we all got to curb, you know, at some time or another. But, you know, straight from my heart, I'm trying to do the right thing, okay, according to the oaths that I took. And that I know a lot of other people took also, okay? That's no secret. So, coming back home, moving back home, you know, the lower level, the goons and the crimes and the drugs and the setups, okay? Lots of setups. And it graduates to wholesale, you know, cyber, identity, drugs at a different level, okay? Pharmacy, okay, and the street drug. My opinion is, you know, back in the East India trading days, okay, opium was the #1 commodity. So, you know, it's the same thing, if you think about it, in my opinion. But all that has culminated, okay, to where you're protecting people that are pedophile, okay. You're talking rape, you're talking pedophilia, you're talking Wexner, okay, and you're talking Epstein right there. Right there, okay. So, my ancestors have called me, okay, to call this out. There are rumors of rapes back in the 70s right on East Circle Drive, right at Beauchamps. So as far as it goes, you know, about the old ways, trying to trap or entice or set up to try to get me to go back to the old ways, it's simply not going to happen. From my opinion, in different stages in life, okay, you got to make hard decisions, right? It's never easy, but, you know, it's well worth it. It really is. My point is, these things need to stop, okay? Stop right away, because they are uncalled for. I don't understand why everybody trying to get into business, my business. Okay, lighten up a bit here, try to anyway, but this is a serious matter too. I never thought about these things, but in the Philippines, during the People Power Revolution, we were locked down, okay? For a while, when Marcos was evacuated from Clark. But a subset of that at Clark was Pussy Power, okay? And Pussy Power was the girls, working girls, that since the gates were closed, there was no business, okay? So, they had a protest and a demonstration, and some folks had chairs up on the roof and they were watching it. And I understand it was quite a thing, right? But all kidding aside, our singer, Greg Hall, okay, Silver Lightning, he asked me one day, he goes, you know what, the hostesses, do you ever think of them as prostitutes? And I said, no, not really. And then I thought about it. It's like, yeah, it is, So the thing about it is, they had to open the gates soon after that, okay? And we were on a curfew. The thing was, it's a real thing, and it's part of war. It's a part of life every day. I guess we're finding out more and more about that every day. Everybody knows a lot of military went in there and would leave children, okay, knowingly, all right, and just leave. So, the women were stuck in some difficult situations, okay. So it's something to think about that you're not thinking about in your 20s, but later on, it's something to think about. Okay, 1989, I'm thinking back on this now. I was in Korea, and we had a colonel. He was not popular, Colonel Christie. Okay, he had congressionals way before they were popular. I understand they're pretty popular now, but nobody would do it back then. The reason why you didn't do it is the fear of retaliation against you. All right. But anyway, Colonel Christie, he was different. Okay. And but anyway, he stopped me one day and he said, "You have a line number for E6, right?" And I said, "Yes, sir, I do." I had got promoted, and I had an assignment to Del Rio, Texas. Okay. So I wasn't doing cartwheels about that one, but it's he stopped me and he goes, "You've got the line number for E6." And I said, "Yeah." Soon later, I got a call. I'd been diverted from Del Rio to McClellan Air Force Base, Sacramento, California, and my friend, he was like, "Hey man, you want to trade? Can we?" He was all hyped up. I was worried about other things, I was worried about passports and shit. But I didn't know it at the time. See, that was the top secret clearance, right? So that was the top secret clearance in the introduction into a totally different world. So at Technical Operations Division at McClellan. And we monitored the nuclear test ban treaty. And we were active during Chernobyl, during Desert Shield, Desert Storm. Okay. Our folks ran missions over that. And it was a tedious time, We had a great assignment, though, okay? And it was all worth it. We had great people there, too. Really great people. But I knew it, but I didn't realize that there was a lot of racism going on, overt and covert, within the ranks, right? There were no women senior NCOs. We had one officer. Somehow they got rid of the officer. And then things didn't turn out very well because there was too many affairs going on, rumors, always this shit. I tried to stay away from it, you know. They were going in dudes' offices, ransacking, because, you know, the rumor was they were banging in the office there and they were all running to go. And I'm like, why don't you leave them alone? And they're like, what's wrong with you? You know, I'm trying to mind my own business. My point is on this, you know, with the top secret and the diversion and knowing what I see now and how far back things have gone, that's no coincidence, okay? So there was racism going on. There were no female senior NCOs. And it was pretty, you know, it was pretty locked down the way they were running. I've talked about it a little bit, but the whole being diverted and the top secret and what happened after that is, you know, interesting to me. Tori Mars, she ran for Secretary of State. She did not win. Frank LaRose kept her name off the Republican ballot. With LaRose and DeWine and the Rhinos, it's been going on for a long time, okay? Its time is ended. Tori tried to run as an independent. Mr. LaRose, he said her count was wrong, and she sued him. And she won in Ohio Supreme Court. Okay, that's historic. No one can take that away. The thing about it now, she's got a lawsuit, and it is pending, but it is for our right to inspect those machines, the voting machines, and also to count our votes. Those are our machines. Those are our votes. This is our country, okay? Tori's done more hard work, okay, to uncover voter fraud in Ohio as early as 2005. Now, the thing about it is that she's got more good information on her website, and she's done the work. She's done the journalistic integrity work. She's a trusted source, okay? So, the things that have gone down to try to block her, I'm just saying, take a look at this. Take a look at what's going on. If you're trying to stand out and get in the system and win, like anybody can, right? This is what happens. You get denied, you get blocked, you get blacklisted. And these things cannot go on in our country, okay? You can find her work at ToriSays.com. There's a lot of great articles in there. J6, Hunter Biden, the laptop stories. They've been out there for years. The laptop stories and also the relationship between Hunter Biden and his father. Those are important stories. Okay. President Trump was right about a lot of things. He was right about our freedom of speech. He was right about First Amendment. He was right about critical race theory. Right about Common Core. He's right about Obama and his birth certificate. He's right about Clinton and her witch hunt. Steele dossier. Russian hoax. Shit's made up in a bar. Okay? Sold to the mainstream media. Recycled. All their talking points. Over and over so many times we've come to believe. President Trump was right about our energy independence, okay? We don't need to go to another country for oil, okay? We have it right here. It was excess under President Trump, okay? So we can sell the excess and profit for the United States. That's what it's about. Too many people don't like to see that, but it's fact, okay? President Trump was right about empowering his combatant commanders to go out and accomplish their mission. Nobody can stop the U.S. military. President Trump was right about the elections. President Trump was right about January 6th. And the investigations that are starting now, it's going to uncover a whole lot of information. I want to thank you very much again for your support. I appreciate it. I know the numbers don't add up, but that's quite all right. It really is. Because like whenever you're working something like that, there's always things going on at different levels, right? So anyone who stood up and done the work, I appreciate it. Thank you. I love you. I do. God bless you. God bless America. Please check out my store on Etsy, Doomans. There's some military t-shirts on there. What is old is new again. So, thank you very much. Have a great evening. Goodbye.